Good day and welcome back here, episode 33. I'm working on the performance bagger again, and last we finished was mounting the tire on our rim. We've got that done. So now we got the Venom wheel balancer set up. I'm going to mount the wheel onto the wheel balancer. I've got some weights right here. We're going to get it set up to balance. So this is the front wheel. It says ABS on it. Floating rotors. It was an OEM takeoff from a friend of mine. It's a 19-inch wheel. We're going to be replacing the stock OEM 16-inch. Again, we're not going to pull the wheel off today. We're going to balance this one up. Got some other jobs we got to tackle. But in a future video, we will be removing the police fender. We have to take off caliper to get the tire by, or excuse me, to get the fender off and the tire by. And then we will be mounting up the wheel at that time. Today, we're just going to be focusing on balancing. So I'll get this set up and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are back. I've already got it mounted on the machine, but when I go to take it off the machine, I will show you. So this is just a tapered, like a spindle, tapered, and it goes into the bearing. So you can use a 3/4 axle, inch axle, 44 mil, whatever, sport bike, Harley, doesn't matter. And it just uses an Allen key to tighten it up. That's all it uses. And then the same thing on this side. Again, just tapers in to the wheel bearing. And then as I zoom out, I can just spin it right on the shaft, right on the shaft. You can see it spinning there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to stop the tire. I'm going to put it in my stand. And you guys will be able to watch. So I'm just going to pick, there's no weights on this. You want to remove the old weights. So this is 41 PSI cold. It's what they recommend. I've got the rotor's already mounted, the bearing's in place. So I'm just going to put the tire on. I'm just going to hold it. Now I let it go. And it should find its home. It may take a few minutes. Not minutes, seconds, maybe a minute at the max. So what it's doing is it's going to take the heaviest point of the tire and it's going to bring it to the bottom. Back up so you can see the bottom. So it's finding the heaviest point of the rim, tire, rotor, and it's going to put it at the bottom. Obviously, gravity, it's going to allow the heaviest point to settle at the bottom. And then the weakest or the lightest point is going to be at the top. So it looks like the lightest point is right off of this spoke in between there. So I take some tape, I identify that just on the rubber of the tire, and then I can move it to the side just to confirm. So it's going to take the heaviest point to the bottom again. So it's looking like it's confirming the heaviest point at the bottom. So, because we're at a spoke right here, we have a little indentation between the polished and the non-polished. So these are 1/4 ounce weights. I have 3 of them set up. I'm not going to peel the tape off the back and stick them on yet. I'm going to use actually masking tape to hold it there just to test it out. So I'm going to put it in the open spot. Push the tape down, and then now I just move my tire with my weights to a different location, and we let the wheel find the heaviest part. still saying that down here's the heaviest and where we marked it's the lightest. So because it's in the center of the spoke, which I kind of like, I'm going to put some weights on the other side. It's called a static balancer. We're just letting the gravity spin and turn the wheel. So now I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and let it fall to where the heavy weight is. So as you see, it's not turning. So it's saying I have enough weight on there now to offset the heavy spot. So I'm going to turn it again. I like to do it a few spots. I'm going to go 90 degree over here. So as we can see, this is where we said was the lightest. So 180 degrees across is the heaviest. I've got 3 quarter gram weights there, and I have 3 on the other side, right in the inside of our spoke. So, it'll be nicely hidden and cleaned up. So now, some guys, what they do is they'll break the tire down, respin the tire on the rim, because there might just be a heavy spot in the tire. Myself, I'm just going to be happy with this. Again, though, I go for a road test, and I see if I feel any vibration, anything out of place, so on and so forth. So we'll go to the bottom, we'll set it at the bottom. So it's not moving again, it's gravity, so if it was heavy, it would move. It doesn't matter if you try to stop it or not. It's moving a little bit there, but it looks like it's just putting the heavy spot at the bottom and putting the weights at the top. Yep. So that's balance right there. So now what I'll do is I'm going to remove the sticky part on the back of the weights, and I'll stick them right on my rim. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to turn it to a spot where I can work with it. So I already got my tape marked where they're going. I'm just going to clean it up. Had the heater going a bit here today. So what I'm doing is I have 3/4 inch grams. I'm going to trim just a little bit off the one. I'm using side cutters. It's very hard material. And once you get a line across, you can usually bend it and separate it. And then I'm going to peel it off. So now the weights are actually sticky. So I'm going to find a spot here. And I'll bring the camera in. So I put 2 on that side. Even after I bent and cut the one piece off, I still got a shortened one there. And I'm just doing that because I'd really like to try and get it to go exactly in the center of that spoke. If I have to move one just outside the spoke. That's okay. It happens. I just try and keep things as clean as I can. And, sometimes it happens, And that's okay. So I got 2 on either side there. Like I say, it might need more. Looks like we're going to need more. And that's okay. I had 6 on it total at first. But with me not being able to fit it directly in between, I just want to try it. So we will just put one on the outside of the spoke. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, and that's my original 6 I had on. So we'll go 180 again. There's our tape mark, just so you guys can see it. So it looks like I put a quarter on the outside of the spoke. It might have had to go on the other side. I'll go 180 the other way. You can see I've got the two in between the spokes and then one on the outside of the spoke. Yeah, it looks like I need to put one on the other side of the spoke. So I did the same on both sides. I'm going to peel this one off real quick. It's allowing me to because it's warm enough in here in the shop and because I just stuck it on, which is fine. So we'll give her another whirl. We'll come 180 on this side. Here's the tape. Moving a little bit there. Now it's found its home. I'll go 180 the other side. Again, this is a Venom, same manufacturer as my tire machine. Venom tire tools. We'll go to the bottom. I'll find quarter gram weights that are black. I thought if I could keep them right in between that spoke, it wouldn't bother me as much. But I feel if it, because it's not in between. So here's this side. See, I was trying to trim that one to nicely fit in there, and then I would leave them this color. But because I have to go one outside the spoke, and then on the other side, one outside the spoke, I'd like to go black now. Again though, I can get thicker weights, or excuse me, heavier weights, and the sticker of the weight might fit right in there. So this will get me going, and then I can get black ones, but all of mine that I have in stock here are like a base aluminum, a blonde aluminum color, lead weight there. But yeah, so it's found its home. It's staying stationary there. So it's not spinning, saying we've equaled out the weight. So this was our heavy side here. I marked it with tape. So our light side was at the top. So now after I put the weights on, we're not getting any movement at 90 degrees each way. And a little bit there, but settling out. We'll come 180 this way. It doesn't matter. You can take your tire into a bike shop, but for the little bit of time or work it takes to do a tire, you've got shops that are full doing, fork seals, engine rebuilds. So for them to take a guy to put your bike up on the hoist or a lift and do all this, you could be a day or two. So, to spend, say, $300, I don't exactly remember. I've had these tire machines many years. They're worth their weight, especially when I was in the sport bike era and we were doing burnouts and popping tires and so on. It was quick, easy to change, and so I'm happy with that. So I'll just show you how I take the wheel off. It's pretty simple, but worth knowing the machine and how it works. So like I say, this is just like a spindle. I'm going to take this piece of tape off here. So this spindle, I just find where I put the Allen key in. I'm going to put it in. And then obviously lefty-loosey to loosen it. Same on the other side. So now I just lift it up, and you'll see that I'll just set this back in there to show you guys. This is the tapered spindle. So the tapered part goes recessed into any size bearing you have. Let's say it's a 3/4, an inch, a millimeter on a sport bike, a Harley, a cruiser, and then that just butts up to it. You tighten down the Allen key, and then you just center it. So when I take it off this way. Here's the rod. Here's the other side. I can slide that one on that way. Slide this one on that way. Obviously, I line these up in the center, tighten them down. Wherever the wheel is, I spin the wheel because these will be tight on the shaft, and then it spins together. And then the heavy spot always falls to the bottom. That means the top part is our lightest. Again, some people, if it's real bad, like you're putting on a lot of weights, guys will break the tire down, move the tire 90 degrees, and then retry it. Again, there's that marking on the tire we had. It was yellow. They want that over top of the valve stem. We did that, and here we are. Again, the tire that we mounted was a non-tube tire. So let me just look it back up here. It was a non-tube tire, meaning there's no tube in it. So here's my valve stem. Here's my stock yellow dot. So they want me to line that up with my valve stem. As you can see, I'm just off a little bit, but I'm happy with that. Mounting it, you know, sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm happy with that. There's our weights there, as you can see. Again, I'll get some black ones. I mean, I always paint those black, but I'm happy with it. And then, so next video, we'll get at it. We'll be removing the fender and removing the stock OEM wheel. We've got to remove the calipers at the time. We'll check the brakes and we'll go from there. But until next time, thanks a lot. Again, no sponsorship, just Venom wheel balancer, and then we use the Venom tire machine. So the weights you can get anywhere. I think I ordered these ones either from Princess Auto in Ontario, or I got them from Port9, but you don't need much. But thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll be back to you with another video soon. Thanks.